decided that I really need to start recording more content. And, my channel started out talking about, like, jobs and, but I told y'all I would probably be talking about other things on here just because, I have a lot of interest in a lot of things that, it's a lot of primer. Anyways, that's fine. Doing all those pores, right? Anyways, I just did that. Oh well. Anyways, I have a lot of things that interest me, like, I don't know how many of you know my Walmart story, or I don't know how many of you know that I was a drug addict. Yeah, I did that too. And see, I'm still like ashamed and embarrassed because it sucks. Like, you don't want to admit that kind of stuff, But the good thing is I've been in recovery for more than 10 years now, and will never go back to that stuff, and will never be around that stuff. But anyhow, that's just a couple of things about me that maybe you didn't know. But if you know me and whatever, then you already knew that, so that's okay. I don't care. It is what it is. Yes, I just use my hands. Oh well. I'll wash them when I go in. We'll use my little antibacterial wipes and wipe my hands. Anyways, so let's talk about Walmart. So I first started Walmart, well, let's be honest, I think, I had a job with Walmart off and on, here and there. I had worked for Walmart before, but I got into Walmart, sorry y'all, I don't think I have a cold or anything, but, not that it matters, but, anyways, I got into working at Walmart in 2014. I was just newly sober, and I can't even say that I was really sober whenever I first started, because I really wasn't, and my boss knew that, and that was a cool thing. Anyways, I had this really cool boss got me out of grocery, and I ended up going into pharmacy, and I met another lady that, like I said, I won't mention her name. She's on my Facebook, but I love her. She knows who she is. And she really, I mean, like, from day one, like, she dove in and she taught me so much about, like, the pricing system at Walmart, and, like, how to, you know, like, inventory and freaking, you know, counts, and how to work the little machine that they have at Walmart. Ooh, I didn't even blink that. Anyways, she taught me how to work the little machine, you know, that the tail's on. I don't know if any of y'all have ever worked in retail or whatever, and, you know, those big pricing guns. Anyways, we called them tails-ons. They were big and bulky, but we used to walk around with them in our hands or on our carts or whatever, and Lord knows they were hard to come by, so we had to, you know, get them assigned, or, you know, the manager of that department would keep it in their locker for the longest time, like they would assign it to that manager or whatever. Anyways, whatever. So she taught me how to do all of that, and then I ended up going behind the counter in pharmacy, which was awesome. I learned a lot back there. I learned how to fill prescriptions. I learned how to, you know, I learned how to manage the system. I did a lot of, you know, I don't know. I even thought about doing pharmacy tech school, but, you know, at that time in my life, it wasn't a good time. And then for a little while, I ended up, I don't know, I think before I went to pharmacy, I ended up like back on drugs for a little bit. Didn't last long, because I was very, you know, I relapsed, and I wanted to get my life together. And so we ended up leaving the place that we were living at, because there was just, you know, a lot of drugs and a lot of stuff going on that just wasn't worth the time, you know. So we ended up leaving there. So anyways, we left, and we were homeless for a couple of weeks, and then, you know, where, you know, that song that says skip to the good part. I feel like this is the good part. This is where the good part starts. But I mean, it also went bad again. So, but anyways, this is the good part. So we were homeless, and we got a call from the owners of the house that we had lived in, with the people who were drug addicts. And we got a call, and it was, you know, come get your stuff. If you don't come get your stuff, we're going to throw it out. So the beginning of the end started happening, and, you know, I sometimes feel like God calls us into certain things for certain reasons, but we ended up back in that town, and we ended up getting our stuff, and we had the neighbor, he took us and dropped us off with all of our stuff at this Whataburger, where we sat there for like 2 days. And during that 2 days, you guys, like, I can't tell you how many people, like, came and helped us, and, like, gave us food, and I mean, like, it was amazing. it's an integral part of the story. The Jack in the Box story, when we went homeless, there was a time that we were living in a park, right off of the Trinity Trail. So if you're familiar with Fort Worth, you kind of know what I'm talking about. It could be a lot of different places in Fort Worth, but I'm not going to go into specifics just because, I don't want to reveal that much about myself. And those of you that know me know, and if you don't know me, well, you don't know. It's okay. But anyways, we were at Jack in the Box one morning, and this man and this lady came in, and they were like, I don't know, I guess they were just watching us, and the man was a drug counselor. And again, I'm not going to mention any names if you know who they are, or if you happen to see this video, just know that we love you guys and we appreciate you for everything that you did back then, because God knows that you were an integral part of our sobriety. But they took us to church, and that was super awesome. I loved the church that they took us to. I couldn't tell you to this day what the name of that church was, but it was awesome, and it definitely sparked something inside of us, both of us. And we both believe in Jesus. We both believe, that things don't just happen by accident. Things happen for a reason, Anyways, so we ended up going to church with these people, and I think that was like even bigger of a sign from God that we were headed in the right direction, that we were doing the right thing. Even though, like, one night, oh my gosh, y'all, like, we thought the cops were chasing us through the town that we had previously lived in. And this was like during the time that I had started working for Walmart, and I wrote my boss a note, and I told him, I can't do this anymore. I told him that I was an addict, and I told him all kinds of stuff. Anyways, clearly I trusted that man. He was a really good man. But anyhow, I wrote him a letter and told him everything that he needed to know, and told him, that one day hopefully I'd be able to get my job back, but that I had to be clean and sober first. Anyways, long story short, too late. So after all that, we ended up in downtown Fort Worth, homeless on the streets, and we went to church every day they had church. And that was the cool thing. Shout out to Union Gospel Mission in downtown Fort Worth. About as much as I'm going to review. But they were really incredible. And anyways, we spent about 2 weeks down there, and like I said, we got the call. Yes, we had cell phones, all the things. But anyways, we got the call that we needed to come get our stuff, so we came and got our stuff. And we ended up in the little town that we lived in. We ended up at the Whataburger, and we stayed there for a couple of days. And we were sober at that point, and I was like, bound and determined that we were going to stay sober after that. So we did. And that specific day, after being there for a couple of days and getting the cops called on us because somebody said some stupid stuff, that there was somebody sleeping naked behind Albertsons. There was no one sleeping naked behind Albertsons. Anyways, to live right now. And when I was homeless, they stole all my clothes. So I have no clothes. I have no nothing. Y'all, it's hot in here. Woo! It's probably freezing out there, but it's hot in here. Anyways, and he was like, okay. He bought lunch for us, which was super cool of him. Didn't have to do that, but he did. He bought lunch for us, and so we had lunch with him, and he did offer me my job back. And that day, we went to Walmart, and I ran into this lady that I had worked with before. That, you know, she was still there or whatever, and I don't know if I approached her. I think she approached me, like, just randomly out of the blue. And she was like, hey, I think that she heard that I was looking for a place to live. Anyways, and I don't know if maybe my manager told her. I have no idea. Somebody got to have told her. Anyways, that we were looking for a place to live. And we found a place to live because she offered us a place to live. She was like, you know what? I need somebody to help me. And the area of town that I'm living in is not such a good area of town. And I really need somebody to help me pack up my stuff and move. So that's what we did. And the boss from Walmart, he helped me pick out my things. He literally bought me clothes, like everything, socks, underwear, 3 or 4 pairs of pants, shirts, everything. And I'm so grateful to him because I don't think he knows how much he changed the trajectory of my life. Anyways, but that is about all the time that I have today. It took me about, 20 minutes? Yeah. And I gotta get my booty into work because I gotta go get some coffee. Because I can't live without my coffee. Although I do have coffee in the car. But I probably drink about 4 or 5 cups of coffee a day. Oh well. I live on caffeine, I guess. But anyway, so we're going to leave it here for today. Part of my God story. You know, you think God is not moving in your life. You think your life is going in the wrong direction. And then all of a sudden, somebody walks up to you and says, hey, I have a place you can live. Hey, I have this, I have that. You know, I can do this for you. I can do that for you. And before you know it, you know, things start changing. So things started changing for us really, really quick after that. So, anyways, I will continue part 2 mañana. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And be good out there. Bye-bye.